Whew, another long day at work. Oh, I receive quite a bit of comments from the community. Plug-in repellents keep mice away? Oh boy.
Plug-in repellents are like the best. The sound waves they emit disorients the mouse. And those sound waves are so unbearable that it makes mice leave that area. And once it leaves, it will never ever come back. This is guaranteed to work.
I can't believe people actually think this nonsense is true. Well, Mouse Expert 123, you leave me no choice. What was that about repellents?
Wait, how are you here?
Let's take this somewhere else. Welcome to Pest Control 101. Today's lesson, why your mouse repellent is basically just an expensive nightlight. Okay, Mice Expert 123, you've got a lot of confidence for someone who's probably never treated a home. So let me show you why you're wrong. These devices claim that they use ultrasonic sound waves to drive rodents away from indoor areas. So you go to the store and purchase this device thinking you just solve your mouse problem. Then you go home and plug it in. Sounds perfect, right? Simply plug in the repellent and let it do all the work. So because of this, you think you solved your mouse problem. But sadly, that's not how this works.
But wait a minute, it worked for me.
Get it now? Well, did you see any evidence of mice? Perhaps droppings and scuff marks on the baseboards, or maybe an odor?
Well, not exactly.
Then maybe you never had mice to begin with. But let's continue debunking your claim. High-frequency sound isn't some perversive gas. So instead of traveling throughout a vast area, they travel short distances. So if you do have a mouse, it can be somewhere in the house where those ultrasonic waves don't reach effectively. That creates what's called an acoustic shadow, areas where the sound is weakened or blocked. So ultrasonic waves don't travel through walls effectively. They mostly reflect off surfaces and get blocked by objects.
Okay, but what if the mouse is out in the open near the repellent?
Well, in that case, a mouse could sense the ultrasonic waves.
See, I was right.
You're not, and I will break it down like this. There can be a short-term reaction at first, but mice tend to adapt quickly, so the effect doesn't last. There is something called habituation. This is when an organism's response to repeated and inconsequential stimuli decrease over time. So what this essentially means is that mice will eventually get accustomed to the noise and will stop reacting to it. So in essence, mouse repellents that claim to work isn't an effective means for pest control. And if you're still not convinced, how about I use this analogy? Let's say you recently moved to a new neighborhood. It's a nice neighborhood, but there is one problem. The problem is, the neighborhood you moved into is right by a train. Because this is a new environment for you, the noise that the train makes may be irritating. It may be hard the first week, but as time passes, you will eventually get used to the noise the train makes. And it's the same with mice. Once they realize that the noise poses no danger to them, they will ignore it, realizing it's just background noise. So all of this raises the question of how to keep mice out of your home. And the answer is preventing them from entering in the first place. Since mice can squeeze through small spaces, it's important to inspect your home for these signs. And because every home is different, these potential entry points that mice can use could be in different places. So some questions you can ask yourself is if there is a sizable space between your outside doors and the ground, or if you have noticed any openings around the house that mice could use to enter. And once you identify those openings, make sure to close them right away. And that concludes today's lesson. So, Mouse Expert 123, how do you feel about the information that was presented today?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Good. Now that's less misinformation that's being spread. Until next time. It feels good to educate people on pest control. Oh, what's this? Mouse Expert 123 uploaded another video. Let's see what it is.
Mice repellents aren't what they seem. The sonic waves they emit has a very small effect on them.
Great job, Mouse Expert 123. Another message? Mouse repellents might not work, but mothballs certainly do. So not only do I have to debunk this myth, but I may need to protect this person's safety. I'm not really sure where these myths come from, but debunking them is my mission, and that mission will have to wait another day.